In this video, we're going to talk about simple or the tricks to sketch a square root of linear function, right? So as you know that the square root function, you have square root of x, right? In the previous video, I have discussed that the graph, the graph will be always at least 0. The graph will be going this way, right? So if the function to be have square root of negative x, so even though negative, so the x have to be negative to make it positive, right? So have to make it positive, so become x less than 0. So the graph will be going this way, right? Because if you positive here, this will be the negative, so it does not undefined here. So when you have negative here, you put here, you have negative, positive, you will define, the graph is defined here. So what happened when you have I talked about this one in the previous video, but what happened if you put a negative square root of x here, right? The graph will be at the same shape, the shape here, now we were going down, right? They were going down. So means that if you memorize these two formula, these two graphs, sorry, you can actually predict the graph when the in front of square is negative here. So same thing also if you have negative square root of negative x here, right? So the domain will still be the same because the domain talk about the value inside the square root. So the graph will be going this way, right? So the trick here very easy. So if I have fx equals to negative x minus 2 plus 2, okay, I teach you the trick here. So in the previous video, I talked about the actual concept of sketching the square root, right? The concept here. So the trick here will be, the first will be you identify the domain. Because this square root here, the inside the value here, the input here is the x minus 2, which decide what is the value of y here, right? So x minus 2 must be at least 0, must be 0 or positive. So it will be at least 2 here. So you keep this point here. So number 2, very simple. You look at the shape here, right? The shape here. So you know what is the point here, right? Very easy. You look at, if this is 2, then you put 2 here, right? The x is 2 here. And this will be your y value, 2, 2, right? If this is negative 1, this will be negative 1. So I talk about a point here. So if this is negative 2, this will be negative 2. This will be 2, and the value here will be the value here. So now, very simple. So as you know that there are 4 type of graph here, right? 4 type of graph here. So if you have negative here, right? Negative here, it will be either, in negative, it will be always below the axis, a horizontal line is always below that. So okay, you see what I mean here. So if y and x here, first you put the point, 2, 2. So you put 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is the point here, right? So because of the arrow here, means that it's either going here or going there, because there is a negative here, right? Negative here. So going to the right, the down, down, going down to the right or going down to the left is depend on the x more or equal to here, because there is a negative here. So it's not going to go up to the right or left, it's going to going down, right? Either it's going down to the left or going down to the left or going down to the right. So if you see that the arrow here, x greater or equal to, means greater, right? Greater means they're going to the right. So it means the graph will be going to the right. So it will be going to the very simple. So of course, okay, doesn't matter. So I'm not going to, how to find the x-intercept. X-intercept, the y will be 0, right? Y will be 0. So if you want to find, then you have to equate this equals to 0 and you find the value of x here. But doesn't matter, because we are interested about the domain and range here. So the domain and the range of f. The domain here will be, you look at here, this is your domain. It starts from 2 up to infinity. And the range of f, the range will be, the graph will be everywhere below the 2, right? It's from negative infinity up to 2, right? Negative infinity up to 2. Include the 2 here, right? So let's say, now I go for the first example. You can assume this to be your exercise. You can try first before you're looking at the video, right? You pause the video. So second, what if the fx is square root of 4 minus x plus 1? Very simple. You can draw the simple trick here will be number one, the domain. The 4 minus x have to be at least 0. So from here you solve the inequality, you will get x at most 4. If you see the arrow is going to the left, right? Which is the graph that going to the left? This is going to the right, going up to the right, going down to the right. And only these two graphs here, right? These two graphs here will be pointing to the left. So either this or this graph here. Either this or this graph. How to know whether it's going up or going down? So it depends on the sign here, right? It's positive, right? This is positive. So this is positive means it must be above. It must be this one, right? Going up, right? Going up to the left here, right? Going up to the left. Going to the left because this one is pointing to the left, right? Up or down, going to the left, up or down is looking at the sign here, right? If this is positive, this will be your shape. So now, okay, I revise again, the shape will be going there. The shape will be going there. So what is the point here? Very simple. Take the 4 here, the domain here, the 4, and the value of 1 here to be your y. Then easily you can sketch the graph. Very simple. So you have x, y, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 1. Sketch. They were going there. So y-intercept, if you want to find y-intercept, x will be 0, right? X will be 0. So you substitute, okay, you can find y equals to square root of 4 minus 0 plus 1, right? Square root of 4, you have 2 plus 1, so you will intersect at 3. So this is the graph. So the domain here and the range here, the domain will be negative infinity up to 4, right? Negative infinity up to 4, close. Or the range will be, there are no graph here, the y value starting from 1 and above, right? So it will be 1 to infinity, right? So, okay, I will give you 2 more examples.